The first time a cop tried to shove me off a rooftop, I didn't scream, I didn't beg. I just thought, you picked the wrong woman on the wrong night. And if you stay with me, you'll understand why that moment flipped more than just one man's career. My name is Maya Cole, and people like to stack titles on it now, but underneath I'm just a black woman who spent years being talked over in briefing rooms, side-eyed in uniform, and treated like I should be grateful to sit at tables I bled to earn. So I made myself a quiet promise a long time ago the day I catch someone abusing their badge on my watch. I'm not looking away. That night I'm on the roof of the Helios Tower in Harbor City Bay, air cutting through my jacket, neon leaking off glass, that big beacon of unity statue out on the water pretending this place is fair. My paperwork says I'm there to test encrypted comms for a high-profile summit-run diagnostics, sign a form, go home. The truth is pinned to my collar. A matte black radio that isn't really a radio synced with my contact lens and watch all wired into a black budget system called Apex, built to catch what body cams never see, and internal affairs keeps misplacing. We've injected a fake interference signal into the city network, a signal only the right kind of officer, arrogant, sloppy, sure he's untouchable, will feel entitled to confront. I volunteer to be the bait because I know exactly how those men look at someone like me alone on a roof at 1 a.m., and because I've sat through enough he said she overreacted hearings to know this time I want the tape first. The door below slams open. Heavy boots hit metal. I don't turn yet. "What the hell you doing up here?" he snaps. No greeting, all ownership. I know him from his file, Lieutenant Travis Stone, Harbor City PD, a stack of complaints, zero real consequences. His partner Blake hovers 2 steps back, shoulders tense, that familiar look of a man who knows his boss is a problem and doesn't want to go down with him. I answer calm, "Federal Communications Test, you were notified," and show him my black credentials, Silver Crest clearance codes. He barely glances, presses them back into my chest with 2 fingers and says, "This doesn't mean anything on my roof, sweetheart. This is my city." And there it is. In his head, I'm no longer an officer. I'm an inconvenience. A black woman standing too tall where he thinks I need his permission to breathe. He closes the distance hand, hovering near his gun eyes on my collar. "Hands off that toy, step away from the edge," he says. "Rooftops no place for strays." That word hits harder than the wind, but I keep my voice level. "Lieutenant Stone, you're interfering with a secured federal operation. Holster your weapon and step back." He laughs, looks back at Blake loud enough for my mic to drink it in. "Hear that we got ourselves a law book, like following the law is a joke." Blake tries LT. "Maybe we confirm with dispatch." But Stone is already writing his own script, the one where he's the top of the food chain and I'm an extra. Then he does what men like him always think they can do, plants his hand hard on my shoulder and shoves. My heel hits the low barrier city falling away behind me, and in that half second any normal panic burns off and everything gets sharp. This is exactly why I'm here. I let my weight settle, shrug his hand off like lint, tap my radio, and say in the same tone I'd use to order coffee, "Apex, this is Cole. Code blackout, initiate containment." For a beat, nothing, and he's about to smirk. Then Harbor City glitches. Streetlights around the tower shift to a slow amber pulse. His radio screen freezes and dies. The red beacons sync, and a flat mechanical voice comes through both channels. "Unlawful interference with a federal operation detected. Zone lockdown engaged. All transmissions are now under federal review." His confidence cracks. "What the hell is that?" he barks, slapping the dead radio. "Reset it." I nod past him. "Look behind you." Out over the bay, an unmarked chopper hangs in the sky. No logo, just muscle rotor wash brushing the rooftop. Tiny red dots settle on his vest, one on the hand near his holster. Blake goes pale. "Lieutenant," the system voice booms off concrete, "all actions on this rooftop are being recorded and archived." Now I raise my ID, not asking, just informing. "I am Special Intelligence Officer Maya Cole, Apex Oversight. You have assaulted a federal officer at a secured site while armed after ignoring identification while using biased language. You're on record." Blake's breathing shifts. Stone's jaw tightens. He spits. "You think that little light show scares me? You feds storm in, run your circus, then leave. We run this city. You won't end me over words." And in that sentence he gives me everything. Apex tag subject Travis Stone. I say, "Obstruction, aggravated assault weapons, threat, racial indicators." The reply comes, "Tag confirmed, evidence streaming." Blake whispers, "Travis, stop. But pride is a sickness. Stone steps in so close I can smell his anger and says at that last ugly challenge, "Go ahead, arrest me if you can, you black." And the word lands clear as glass in my mic. I could swing. I don't. I look him dead in the eye and tell him the only truth that matters up there. My conscience would let you walk away. The protocol won't. The chopper holds. The dots don't blink. And for the first time since he walked onto that roof, he understands he is not the one holding the higher ground. By morning, a short clip is everywhere. The shove, the slur, my ID, the system confirming my status. Not edited, not narrated, just raw. The watermark on it says, "What the comments can't argue with authentic federal recording." Half the city is furious at him, half is suspicious of me. All of them are awake, you know what I mean? The chief goes on TV, tight and polished. "We take this very seriously," announces Stone's suspension badge and gun gone pending investigation. Behind that podium, Apex has already crawled his files, linked his complaints, his side jobs, his late-night chats with the wrong people. For 1 second, I let myself feel something like relief. No hashtags, no funeral with a folded flag, no mother begging for a name to matter. Just a man who chose to put his hands on me and finally met a wall he couldn't push through. Then 3 days later, I'm in a concrete room in Capitol Ridge, humming lights overhead, and a colonel I've never met is sliding a folder across the table like a prize. Cole, effective immediately, Senior Field Director, Apex Southern Operations. He says like he's doing me a favor. Inside, new badge, more access, a tidy memo. The last page, subject Travis Stone, deceased, single vehicle fire. Ruled suicide related to occupational stress. Case closed. No hearing. No cross-examination. No uncomfortable questions about who covered for him, who leaned on him, why a guy that loud suddenly chose to burn alone in his car. His disciplinary file sealed his digital history, scrubbed so fast you'd think he'd never existed except as a villain in a clip everyone already moved on from. The colonel watches my face and says, "Sometimes the system corrects itself." And I hear everything inside that sentence that he doesn't want to say out loud. That promotion tastes different after that. I don't mourn Stone. He aimed his whole weight at me like I was disposable. But I'd be lying if I said the speed and cleanliness of his erasure didn't bother me. Apex was built to expose rot, not to hand powerful people a smarter eraser. Yet here I am with more authority than I've ever had in a bunker full of screens where we can flag a name and tilt the ground quietly under their feet. You start to realize this thing can protect the right people and bury the right enemies. Or just bury whoever is convenient as long as the footage looks righteous. So I do something they didn't expect from the calm woman on the roof. I log into an old encrypted channel my brother showed me before he died in a training accident. On the other end are analysts who walked instead of falsifying numbers, investigators forced out for pushing cases too high, a couple of tired lawyers who still care about what real evidence means. We start calling ourselves Signal, half joke, half warning. Our rule is simple: we don't fake, we don't frame, and we don't let Apex be used only when it flatters the people who fund it. When Apex catches something real, a sheriff running a hidden lockup, a judge selling mercy, a contractor billing cages as infrastructure, we strip anything that endangers bystanders and push the rest where it can't be quietly deleted to honest prosecutors, stubborn reporters' records that live in too many places to burn. Once that happens, the narrative shifts. A sheriff steps down in cuffs instead of with a fishing boat and a speech. A judge who smirked through brutality hearings watches his own voice played back on the evening news. A polished senator preaching order gets tied to dirty contracts in a coastal camp he swore didn't exist. Official lines call it a new era of accountability. Off the record, the same colonel who pinned my promotion now wonders if Apex has sprung a leak. He's not wrong. I'm the leak. I'm also the one still authorizing stings, choosing when to trigger a code blackout and when to hold back, trying to stay on the thin side of using a loaded tool without becoming just another hand pressing it down on the wrong neck. If you're looking for a neat label here, hero or villain, I don't have one. I still stand by what I did on that roof. A man who believed my life was small and his badge was, God finally met a consequence he couldn't laugh off. I won't apologize for that. But I also won't pretend I'm blind to what came after, how fast justice turned into a story with the inconvenient parts cropped out. That's the part that keeps me honest, or at least trying. Systems don't stay pure by accident. Tools don't stay gentle just because the first time we used them felt right. The same machine that shielded me can, with a few quiet keystrokes, erase someone and call it moral hygiene. So let me put it in your hands. Was what happened to Travis Stone justice, karma, or a clean sacrifice so bigger names could look pure? When we build things like Apex, are we finally holding power accountable or just moving power to a place with better branding and sharper teeth? And if you've seen pieces of this in your own world, the cover-ups, the rare moments someone stood up, the times a camera or a witness changed everything, talk about it. Drop it in the comments, argue with me, defend me, drag me, tell your story. Because as long as only one side tells these stories, the rooftop still belongs to them. And I didn't go through all of this just to leave it in their hands.